Hello, and thank you so much for coming to my presentation on personal ethics. I apologize for the delay in this presentation. I've been a little bit under the weather, and it took me it took me a week to feel like I was back on my feet and able to make a proper presentation. So starting out, I just want to talk a little bit about what are ethics. Ethics are a theological background that includes various philosophical ideas to help leaders organize and employees understand expected and proper behavior within their work environment, according to Johnson, 2013. Personal ethics have long been a various area of study to help understand and create an ease within an organization and to adhere to a certain set of moral boundaries. Philosophers have spent centuries determining in which ways leadership and followers should conduct themselves. Philosophers such as Kant, Mill, Rawls, Notting, and Aristotle, and other notable thinkers have set the stage for what types of behavior are valued and in what ways leaders should attempt to relate with their followers. Why are personal ethics so important to organizational leaders? While at strong organizations, they believe that business ethics and leadership ethics are at the forefront of what they do, and they believe that having a strong ethical background creates the inspiration to put forth your best effort, both by the leader and by their followers, a safe space to try new things, a collaborative atmosphere for innovation, and the integrity of such of a company's functioning to be treated as a precondition for the leader's success. That's according to Bellick and Duh, which is 2017. Providing an ethically safe atmosphere is the forefront of what a strong company should do. It is the responsibility of the leader to support its employees at all time, and creating an ethical foundation in which you lead your employees will give them a safe space to do their work. How would I promote ethics and make ethical decisions in my leadership? I believe in a duty framework, which is having a one-size-fits-all approach to kindness and empathy with my employees, and a virtue framework, coaching for individuals to understand the ethical priorities within their individual characteristics. Within our duty framework, we believe that all employees are the same, regardless of race, sexual orientation, religion, political preferences, or ranking within the company. That means treating even a brand new intern with the same respect, diligence, and an open ear that you would treat a CEO. And using the virtue framework. I like the virtue framework specifically as a person who's had a ton of training experience in my career. I believe that this decision-making prompt helps employees understand why I have the ethics that I do. And I ensure that the training is prompt, understandable, convenient for the employees so that they can get all of the knowledge they know, that they can really lean onto our virtue framework. I like to provide individual coaching as well as group coaching. I like to ask a lot of questions before I begin my coaching so that I understand where my trainee is at in the process. And I also like to let them know essentially what types of behaviors are not tolerated. So lots of behaviors are tolerated: enthusiasm, excitement, motivation, innovation. But things that are not tolerated are going to be any type of harassment, bullying, or underlying of any other employee of any kind. That does not fit under the umbrella of the virtue framework and will not be acceptable within my organization. So what would be my consequences of not acting ethically within my organization? When members of an organization and leaders act unethically or against the organization's ethical culture, both the individual and the overall group may face consequences, such as, for the individual, we may need to have a PIP, a leave of absence, demotion, or termination. And for the leader, for myself as the leader, I need to know that these individual consequences also apply to myself so that I can keep my decision-making ethical at all times, understanding that there are consequences for my actions. For the organization, unethical behaviors can result in loss of investors, reputation, and the ability to gain new clients. An organization and a leader is only as ethical as its least ethical employee. While the employee can lose their status within the organization or even their position, some ethical mistakes can cause damage to the reputation of an organization or the leader. It can cause the organization to lose stakeholders and stockholders, and it can cause a leader to lose their career, their reputation, and all of the forward movement they've made so far within their work as a leader. An organization may also struggle to find and attract new talent if they don't act ethically. So it's in everyone's best interest, the employee, the organization, and the leader, to act ethically. Consumer choices are easily swayed by public opinion of reputation. Making ethical decisions and having an understanding of the consequences of not abiding by ethical standards set forth in culture will not strengthen my leadership role within my organization. I want to ensure future success, both for my org, for my employees, and for myself. I want to foster innovation. I want to be known as a leader who is bringing ethical new standards and always looking for not the easier way to do things, but a better way to do things, and having an open ear to my employees. It's why I've chosen such a great team. I want my team to have strong training, and I want them to know that I fully support them in making ethical decisions. I want to attract future talent for my teams. I want to be known outside of my organization as an ethical leader and someone that is willing to risk maybe another great job to come and work for me. My reputation can affect my consumers' decisions and my purchases, as well as my ability to keep and retain talent. So as a leader, I want to always ensure that I'm keeping with my virtue framework and my ethical frameworks so that I'm able to do that. Thank you so much for coming to my presentation today. I hope you have a great rest of your week.